2025 is primed to be an incredible year for Netflix, but that could end up causing trouble for the streaming platform's future. Netflix's 2025 release schedule confirms that this year's lineup is jam-packed with fan-favorite TV shows and highly anticipated movies. In fact, many of the most highly anticipated Netflix releases of 2025 are sequels that have been years in the making. Among those shows and movies audiences are most looking forward to are Squid Game Season 3, Stranger Things Season 5, You Season 5, and Wednesday Season 2. Even Adam Sandler's 29-year-old comedy Happy Gilmore is getting a sequel on Netflix this year. While these 2025 Netflix releases are certainly exciting, though, they also reveal a major problem for Netflix's future. 2025 looks to be Netflix's most exciting release schedule in the streamer's history. This year's releases are some of Netflix's most highly anticipated ever. There are a host of Netflix shows that are consistently going to draw audiences in, and many of them are returning to the streaming platform this year. Stranger Things is easily one of Netflix's most popular shows, and finally, 3 years after Season 4, the show is returning for the 5th and final season. Likewise, You, starring Penn Badgley as serial killer Joe Goldberg, has a massive following. 2 years after You Season 4, the show is also returning for its 5th and final season. Wednesday is also returning 3 years after its most recent season, although unlike Stranger Things and You, Wednesday has only released 1 season so far. Even so, that show proved to be massively popular, and audiences have long awaited a second season. Some shows, such as Squid Game, have had much more recent releases, although Squid Game will also be concluding with the new season that is set to drop on June 27 of this year. Netflix's massive 2025 release slate hurts the streaming service's 2026 schedule. With so many major releases coming, 2026 has a tough road ahead. Bryce Dallas Howard as Lacey in a bathrobe and wearing a towel on her head in Black Mirror's Nosedive. 2025 will be a thrilling year for Netflix, but that means 2026 may be a very difficult year for the platform in terms of its releases. Fan-favorite shows like You, Stranger Things, Squid Game, and Cobra Kai are just some of the Netflix shows ending in 2025. Even for shows that are not currently confirmed to be ending, though, such as Wednesday and Black Mirror, their 2025 releases suggest they won't be getting additional seasons in 2026. As mentioned, 3 years have passed between seasons 1 and 2 of Wednesday. While it's not entirely out of the question that a new season would roll out soon after, it's unlikely the show will get a third season as quickly as 2026. Similarly, 2 years have passed between the most recent seasons of Black Mirror, again suggesting that another season wouldn't be released next year. This means that in 2026, Netflix will likely be without many of its most popular TV shows. Why 2026 will be a big test for Netflix. Netflix won't be able to rely on many fan-favorite shows next year. Penelope and Eloise looking at one another in Bridgerton. Without many of these fan-favorite shows, Netflix will have to rely primarily on movies and new original shows. One issue with this is simply that it often takes time for shows to become a major hit. In all likelihood, new originals won't immediately have a following. Rather, they will need to first get the views and then keep audiences engaged. This bleeds into another Netflix issue, though. Netflix hasn't exactly inspired confidence in its viewers that the new original shows they love will stick around. In recent years, Netflix has cancelled many shows that viewers loved after just 1 season because, by whatever metric, they didn't perform well enough. Cows, starring Jeff Goldblum, is one great example of this. Although viewers of the show largely enjoyed it, it has a solid 83% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Evidently, the numbers weren't enough for Netflix to renew Cows for a second season. This history, which extends far beyond just one show, may weaken Netflix's chances at success if the platform must shift toward new shows. Theoretically, to make a shift towards primarily new shows and movies work, Netflix will need to adjust how success is being measured and how shows are chosen for renewal. That isn't to say that no popular shows will be returning in 2026. Bridgerton, yet another very popular Netflix show, is expected to have a mid to late 2026 release on Netflix, for example. However, with so many shows ending in 2025 or unlikely to return in 2026, Netflix may have a problem on its hands next year. Netflix's recent choices regarding the streaming platform's costs may have just compounded that issue so much more, too. How subscription prices will become a bigger factor for Netflix in 2026. Will Netflix's 2026 slate justify the cost? Aang looking determined with a misty mountain range behind him in Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 1. Netflix is increasing the prices across all tiers yet again, which will likely only contribute to this problem. The monthly subscription with ads is increasing by $1 to $7.99 per month. The ad-free tier and premium tier are increasing even more than that, with the ad-free tier increasing by $2.50 per month, for a total of $17.99 per month, and the Premier plan is increasing by $2 per month, with a total monthly cost of $24.99. Rising prices are always going to cause a bit of frustration, but the cost increase combined with a potentially slow 2026 could mean major trouble for Netflix. Given the increase in prices, viewers are going to want to see quality shows and movies from Netflix to justify the added expense. The trouble is, even before the bump in expense and the questionable release schedule for 2026, many subscribers didn't feel they were getting what they paid for.